Oh, there we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the fourth day. What the fuck? There. Uh, I've already got some of the videos turned on. Well, no, I don't. This is one of the things that I noticed, and I think I'm gonna give it a try. It's probably a lie, but gotta give some things a try. Yep, already. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this thing fixed. No, that's the wrong thing. There we are. Hello. Is this working? Alright, so only the YouTube members are going to be seeing the beginning. God. Alright, hello, and let's get into it.
Okay, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, my recommendation. If you want, if you want to go pro in Apex Legends,
Again, all these videos, all these tips, they come from their respective people who made them, so give them some love while you're watching me. I don't know.
as an MK player, my recommendation is you do the following:
You.
one, every day before you get on. I don't know how
Oh
much time
wait,
you have. You're
Master
in collegiate, so it's applied you're in school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
MNK.
How much free time do you have
Yeah, I like
usually?
that.
It depends on the day.
Yeah, that's fair. Can you play for like 5 hours a day, like on average? Not every day, obviously. But...
Not every day. On the weekends, yeah, but
Okay.
and Friday I can.
Okay. So I'm gonna put this out as a blanket statement. If you want to go pro in Apex Legends, this is the schedule like an average MK player should have, right? One, before you get on, you should stretch. Do you stretch?
No.
Okay. Do you need stretches to do? Do you not know what to do?
Like stretch my hand.
Yeah, your hand, your arm, stuff like that.
No, sure, you can send me some.
Okay.
I never heard of this.
I mean, it's the same thing like in it's the same thing in like sports, right?
Yeah,
Like they don't have their athletes just raw dog fucking like do whatever, right? Here.
true.
What I sent you is a bunch of stuff for stretching exercises. This is just you do the mobility routine before you get on. This is meant to get synovial fluid in your hands. Your hands are not going to feel clunky. You're going to feel a lot more in control. Stretching routine is after. This is honestly the most. This is the most. What's the word I'm looking for? Optional part, but but this is really helpful if you're feeling tense, if you're feeling constricted. Like I'll play Apex. Like I played Apex for like 12 hours a day for like a month for like the start of the season because I'm gonna get pred. And my arms felt so bad, and it's because I didn't release the lactic acid. My muscles were tense from being used so much, stuff like that. I recommend you do this
Yeah.
after if you play long sessions. Not necessarily required, but it's still good for you to do. It'll still help you a lot. But you do the stretching like this after. This is important because you don't do this before. You do this after. The whole point of this is to relieve tension. You do the mobility before. The mobility is the whole point of this is to warm you up. It takes literally 5 minutes. I do not want excuses. It takes 5 minutes.
All right.
It takes 5 minutes. It's so good for you. So
wait, so what was this nerd saying? Like, do what at the beginning?
Sure.
He does not explain
what
that.
I sent you is a bunch of stuff for stretching exercises. This is just you do the mobility routine before you get on. This is meant to get synovial fluid in your hands. Your hands are not going to feel clunky. You're going to feel a lot more in control. Stretching routine is after. This is honestly the most. This is the most synovial fluid in your hand. You do the mobility routine before you get on. This is meant to get synovial fluid in your hands. Your hands are
it. Oh,
Okay.
And a bunch of stuff for stretching exercises. This is just you do the mobility routine before you get on. This is meant to get synovial fluid in your hands. Your hands are not going to feel clunky. You're going to feel a lot more in control. Stretching routine is after. This is honestly the most. This is the most. What's the word I'm looking for? Optional part, but but this is really helpful if you're feeling tense, if you're feeling constricted. Like I'll play Apex. Like I played Apex for like 12 hours a day for like a month for like the start of the season because I'm trying to get pred, and my arms felt so bad, and it was because I didn't release the lactic acid. You know, my muscles were tense from being used so much, stuff like that. I recommend you do this
Yeah.
after if you play long sessions. Not necessarily required, but it's still good for you to do. It'll still help you a lot. But you do the stretching like this after. This is important because you don't do this before. You do this after. The whole point of this is to relieve tension. You do the mobility before. The mobility is the whole point of this is to warm you up. It takes literally 5 minutes. I do not want excuses. It takes 5 minutes.
All right.
It takes 5 minutes. It's so good for you. So step 1, do stretches. 2, aim train for 30 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
fair enough.
This is meant to kind of get you warmed up. It's meant to kind of acclimate you with the game. You know, you've done stretches already. You just play some warming up scenarios. You play a wide range of things. You play tracking, clicking, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
3, you play Apex. My recommendation for Apex is probably 5 hours if you can. Obviously not every day, but you know, a majority of days, I would say 5 days a week, 4 days a week would be pretty good for this. 5 hours at minimum. You can play more, right? Obviously you can play 8. You can play like 9, play 9. My upper limit is like I would say like 10 to 12, but you know that's much.
I start losing my mind after 4. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't blame you. 4, you take a break, and then after this, sometime later in the day, like take a break for any number of time. 5.
Yeah.
My recommendation is to aim train for upwards of an hour 30. Now that's a lot of time. I'll be honest with you. That is a lot of time aim training. This is the most optimized like schedule you could have if you want to go pro as fast as possible. You want to get as good as the game as fast as you can. Do this.
Yeah.
Right. But obviously not everybody can afford this. I think anybody with a full-time job, anybody with kids, anybody with like responsibilities outside of playing the game can't really do this, right?
I got none
Like
of
I said,
that.
you're in school, and I'm sure you have a life maybe outside of just playing.
A little bit. I also got a job.
Yeah, so I doubt you can do this. The first thing you cut off, to be honest with you, is the aim training for an hour and a half. You don't need to do that 100%.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it a little bit more. If you can't play Apex for like 4 or 5 hours at minimum, then honestly, I recommend you just play the game. You just straight up play the game.
Okay.
But you do not cut out the stretching. You do not ever cut out the stretching.
Okay,
It is 5
yeah.
minutes. It's so easy. I know I'm hampering on it. It's important. You don't want to hurt yourself. But aim training for 30 minutes, even like 15 can be all you need, honestly. But it's important if you don't get this half of aim training, you need to make sure that you use this half responsibly. You need to make sure that if you see patterns in your aiming where you struggle, for example, on targets doing like if someone's like really close to you, you struggle with that, you need to practice that specifically. If people are far away from you, you kind of struggle with that, you need to practice more on that, things like that, right? Repeating patterns, what you see. You should focus on this before you get on and play, okay? And then Apex for 4 or 5 hours, okay?
Okay.
Does this make sense? This is a rough schedule. You can obviously align this with however you need to. This is my recommendation, okay?
I normally play like 2.5 to 3 a day, hopefully. That's about normal for me.
Yeah. My honest recommendation. I say this a lot. Um, I say this a lot. Uh, People, especially people that are like newer to FPS in general or battle royale in general, most people don't learn how to play Apex properly until like 2K hours. How long ago did you
Yeah, I agree.
How long did you get your 20 bomb badge?
Oh, a long time ago.
Okay, not bad. Um,
I can't even do it these days because pubs is MMR based
yeah,
now.
don't even. Yeah, I know. Don't even get me started on that. Yeah, I know. But for for most, if you're playing against like pro players and stuff like that, especially if you want to go to a higher level, you have to play a lot of the game. I have
Yeah.
close to 5,000 hours in this fucking game, right? And I mean, it's just time is ultimately how much you can practice, how much you have to do, right? Obviously, spending the time in smart is more important than anything else. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
We got
Um,
No. Yeah, if we can.
to be honest with you, a lot of your actual gunplay here is fine. There's room for improvement in terms of like your raw aim.
Yeah.
When you aim, what do you mostly use?
Walk up.
Wait,
Wait. They
Forearm,
just
wrist, mixture, like fingertip. What
arm.
do you do? Arm? Mostly
Yeah.
arm or what?
Landing on Mostly arm.
Okay.
Or some wrist, some wrist.
Do you know in what situation you use them or no? Or do you just kind of use them as
Oh
it feels?
no, I can't tell you that.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell. Especially your aim is very stiff, and that's a problem of using most of your forearm, which is obviously your forearm is good. You should be using your forearm all the time. It's important to make sure with aim, especially. So I know controller players obviously go, you have your whole arm, and like you do actually. You should use your whole arm, right? So let's break down how to actually use your arm, right? So I'm not an artist, but this is a hand, right?
It looks great.
Thank you. I'm gonna break down the different regions of the arm, right? So we have the upper arm up here, bicep, tricep. This is something you're probably not gonna use. This is more of a tack shooter thing, right? Tack shooter like LG duel maybe, stuff like that. This is forearm, this is wrist, and this is fingertips. Successful and proper aiming utilizes all of these. Obviously, in certain games you use some, you'll use some more, and in certain games you'll use some less, things like that, right? Like for example, when I play Valorant, I am mostly like this, but when I play Apex, I'm mostly like this, right? And the reason is because different parts of the body emphasize different skills, right? So for example, do you know what each part or what? It's kind of like a slider. Do you know what the fingertips, wrists are good at here?
Aiming?
Well, what part of aiming? Any idea?
Clicking?
No. They are good for reactivity.
Okay.
They're good at reactivity because these move slower, right? I don't know if you've watched somebody. I like using this. I like using this example. I don't know if you've ever watched anybody build like little tiny itty bitty like models and furniture and stuff like that, where they use like a toothpick to set stuff. They have to be very precautious and very careful about what they do because if they use too much force, they'll break it, right?
Mhm.
It's the art of using such little force is important to understand, especially because if you're trying to use your forearm for something that requires really small precision, you're gonna have problems, right? You're using a big muscle to achieve something really small. The wrist and fingertips by nature can move pretty quickly, right? You can do a lot, but the forearm will struggle with precise accuracy in a lot of these situations, right? But the thing is that these parts of our arm, I don't know how to spell accuracy, right? Whatever. But the problem is these parts of our arms are very limited, right? I don't know if you try to track somebody with only your wrist, but if you literally go on your mouse pad and go lock your forearm in place and only use your wrist, if you move your mouse left and right, you'll see that you'll start to lock out. You can see how my wrist has a natural range and where it can go, right? Especially if I'm playing like in game and I play like a really slow sends, my aim is gonna be stuck like this, and it will actually hurt if you move your wrist too much. Right, if you get to these outer edges and you try to push your wrist more, it's gonna hurt because your wrist has a natural limit where it can go. Obviously, if you wiggle your finger can only move so far, right? So the further up we go, we get better range of motion. Okay, range of motion, and this is important to understand, right? So we don't want to look to use just one part of our arm when we're aiming, right? If we only use our forearm, we only have decent range of we only have a good range of motion with modest reactivity, right? So when we're aiming, no wait, I need to range of motion. Yeah, so when we're aiming, It's important, especially aim training. Aim training will help you practice a lot. When we're aiming, it's important to make sure that we use our forearm specifically in Apex. If someone, let me use this example. I'm gonna draw a top-down view of an opponent, right, or even you.
Okay.
So this is you. This is your view cone. Okay, this is what you can see. This is your field of view, right? If someone's really close to you, they move really fast, right? They're big. They're zooming around you in a circle, right? If
Yeah.
you've ever had anybody circle you, realize how much your mouse pad you actually use, right?
Yeah.
But if someone is really far away, they're small, which sounds obvious, but it's important to think about. They don't move very much on your screen, right? If someone's on the opposite side of the Kings Canyon River, they're never gonna leave your screen. The only way they will is if they, like go behind cover, right? They're never gonna move fast enough to get out of there, right? So here you have to exercise really fine precision, right? You're not using your forearm here to shoot this guy all the way over here, right? You shouldn't be, because if you have to make really fine, delicate movements, your forearm is not the muscle for it. But with this guy in your face, this guy is moving really fast, but he's really big is the thing, right? He's really big. It doesn't really matter where you hit, even his head's like a watermelon. You could shoot that pretty easily, right? You could pretty easily shoot that. So you don't really need accuracy. So you don't really need to use this part of your arm. You need to more so use, your forearm, your bicep up here, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So when you're aiming at people specifically, it's important to make sure that you kind of build a hybrid between what you need to do, right? So, as people get closer to you, you'll use more forearm. As people get further away, you use more. I guess these will start with finger, forearm. There we go. Finger, forearm, and then the wrist kind of is used for all of it, right? It's important that we use. So for example, if someone is just moving, I'm going to do that. For example, if someone is just moving, I guess I should just redraw this again. If someone is just moving in a straight line, like this, right? We want to use our forearm to start the general motion. We want to use our forearm to draw like this, right? But because their speed can change, right? Because this person we don't know if this person's going to walk in a straight line, right? Obviously, we might be able to infer something, but at the end of the day, we don't really know. The opponent might change direction. They might start walking at us. There's like a million things they could do, right? But we want to make sure that we're also using our wrist to match and equal the speed of what the opponent is doing, okay? We use our forearm to set the general speed, but we use our wrist and our fingers to kind of help set it in stone, right? Make sense?
Yeah. Do you have any tips for I feel like a lot of what I do is just like on autopilot, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any tips for identifying, how do I put this, identifying what I need to change?
Feel.
Okay.
I want you to, especially if you are this is legitimately what an aim trainer is for. It's like a lab. It's literally like a lab where you can practice and exercise certain things, right? Aim is a lot of feel, and you have to understand kind of how it feels to do certain things. Because if you're under tracking, you have to kind of know why or how you're under tracking, right? You're using something wrong or not matching it properly. Aim trainers are a really good way to just isolate the feel of aim and how it actually is to do certain things, because sensitivity can multiply it a lot. But for example, for me, if I swap sends between anywhere within a reasonable range, I can almost instantly know what that sends is after or how to play on that send after a minute or two, right? After I get my first fight, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what to do now. I know how to use the sensitivity now, and that's because I'm just used to the feel. When you're aim training specifically, because we need to use our whole arm, right? You can use different sensitivities to accentuate these different parts, right? So for example, the most common aim training scenario is like ground plaza, where a bot goes like this and you have to try and track it, right? It does crazy movement, right? That's pretty common. What I'll do is I'll play this scenario on really low sends. I'll play on something really slow, so my arm is going I don't know if you can hear that, but my mouse is going everywhere, right? I'm flying around. But I'll get a really bad score. But that doesn't matter. The point of me doing that is to practice specifically. You don't go to the gym and start building muscle gain and be like, I lifted 5 pounds less. You're using a different muscle. You're doing something else, right? You're practicing. So and then later I'll play this exact same scenario on a really fast send. So I have to be really precise in what I do. I'm only using my fingertips, right? I'm only using my wrist. And then later, for example, when I'm warming up, for example, talking about that hour and a half versus the first 30 minutes I play, right? I'm doing this in the hour and a half that I play after. When I'm warming up, I'm playing on my normal sensitivity. I'm using everything now. I'm now using everything. I'm frying the bot because I have good practice on everything, right? I can exert
Yeah.
fine control. I can exert wide range of control. I can do just about everything I need to, right?
So, would you recommend like playing on different senses just to?
Different senses can also do that, 100%. I think it's healthy to experiment and play on different sensitivities, but I wouldn't go, oh, I died. I'm gonna go change my sens right now. Like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. I meant aim training. Like, would you
What? These motherfuckers contradict themselves like bread and butter. What the fuck? Why that didn't make sense. But still, changing your sends could actually make you more accurate. Well, that's what I learned from one of the videos yesterday. Or was that 2 days ago? I don't know. All I know is changing your sense is good for you. But finding one that's really nice for you is the best. So these people like to contradict themselves. But I would really listen to this guy. I mean, he brings up some great points. I mean, some points are contradictory to a bunch of other people's points, but still great points.
recommend me going into the
Oh.
aim trainer and like testing it out on like?
Absolutely. Different
Okay.
sensitivities practice different things. I always encourage people to play different sensitivities. I swap my sensitivity every, well, again, it depends on what I'm practicing, right? But if I'm like, I need more
Yeah.
precision control with my fingertips, I will up my sens hella. And I mean, some scenarios are literally just designed to be played on high sens. I've played on really slow, really high, my normal, a little bit higher, a little bit lower, everything in between.
I
It's
guess
just,
my real question is, do you see results on your regular sense from practicing on a different sense?
yeah, absolutely. Right?
Okay.
It's bringing it all together to understand what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
Deliberate practice brings forward results for the normal how you play. And even then, you might realize from training on higher sensitivity, you might go, oh, I like a higher sense more, and you'll start playing a higher sense. And you just, it's fine to experiment. It's do whatever feels right. It's important to make sure that you're comfortable. Okay.
Okay.
At least physically. Mentally, you should be uncomfortable because you're forcing yourself to do new things, right? But
And playing
that's
Apex, but
all this makes sense.
yeah.
So right here, right when you're shooting this, oops, spacebar does not play the video. Surprisingly,
I know.
It's-
Wait. They
yeah.
just jumped.
So here, this guy drops on you on the horizon queue for some fucking reason, right? And then here,
What?
you hit a slide, which is good. This slide is really good.
They got me.
And then here, you hit a like half anti-mirror, I would call it. This is a
Yeah.
yeah. This is what I believe it's called it's called a half sideways anti-mirror or something like that, as Aimer 7 would call it. It's just whatever. You hit like a partial anti-mirror, but because of the reason, but because you're not
Okay.
fluid with your aim is very
Wait,
rigid
wait,
because
wait.
you're only using your forearm, right? You don't have the fluidity to move
Just
in between
jumped.
and dictate speed a lot better because you're not using your wrist or your fingertips here. Your aim, look how stiff your aim
Landing
is,
on me.
right? You just kind of go in that one direction. You can't really adjust when this guy runs in a straight line, right?
Yeah.
And then the bubble comes down, and then you manage to fry this guy because he's just like tunneling you. For
I
some
know.
reason. This guy's, I don't know, right?
I mean,
And then this other guy just sends you. I guess I don't really know I don't really know what's going on.
I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know either, right?
I'm just
but-
not here to zone anyhow.
But all this aim stuff makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about, and I know I just kind of dumped information on you, but it isn't ultimately a lot of practice. Aiming is easy, as controversial as that may seem. It just takes time. It just takes time to know how it feels to do things, right? When I teach students how to strafe, I just tell them to go do it. Just go do it. I don't care if it's a bad play, a good play. You just have to know how it physically feels in the game to do so, right?
That's what I've been doing. I've been like, I watched that strafing video. I haven't gotten through all of it, but I got through like the mirroring and the anti-mirroring part.
Mhm.
And I've just been going into the range and like
Yeah, I
trying
can
to mirror and anti-mirror the dummies.
I can tell because this strafe is
Wait,
really
wait, wait,
this strafe is conceptually good. Your aim just doesn't match it.
Yeah.
Anti-mirroring
on
requires you can see I tried to pause it there. Smile. You can anti-mirroring is inherently good in a lot of other games because it requires built-up skill. And you can see that skill here. Like if this guy anti-mirrored you, but this guy had better aim, or he's on controller, he would shit on you here. But he just kind of ran
Mhm.
back, right? Because you didn't hit a lot of your shots, which is just the reality of anti-mirroring. But Your shape is good.
One.
You stay on your feet. There's
Nothing else?
probably room for improvement in other places, but right there, at least from that one fight against that one guy, that's a lot of what I could see. I want to look at earlier in the VOD.
Again, Guy brought up some great points, but I don't agree with some of them. That's alright. That exercise, though, that stretching is very good, though. Yeah, every day I wake up, my fingers are like fucking bricks, man. These feel fun when I start playing, but when I'm in a game, they'll just fucking beat the shit out of me, man. They will just like start tingling, start fuzzing up, man. And they just feel like shit.
Is that Tony Romero again?
Yeah. What do you want?
You're pushing some serious weight today.
I am. I'm training to Apex Legends Season 16.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Some vigorous training. Oh, damn.
My bad.
Whoa, what are you training for this time?
Climbing ranked. You can see climbing.
But you're not going anywhere. What are you waiting for this time, man?
That. All right, tell me when to go. All right, ready? Yeah. Go. God, easy. Told you.
Is that
If you are looking to improve in Apex, truly the only two things that you need to be doing is taking fights and spending more time actually gaining combat skill. Off the drop, as soon as you get a gun, find an enemy and take that engagement to get practice in. This does not mean hot dropping and 50-50ing for a weapon though. Pay attention to who is around and land on floor loot by yourself for increased success and rapid skill building. If you are
I'm about to show you how to activate.
I really gotta stop looking at shorts. District. I don't think I've ever seen this guy. I'll give him a chance.
Today, I'm coaching this guy. He's a console diamond who recently feels like he's stuck and can't figure out why exactly he's having issues
Console
in rank.
players
But
shouldn't
today,
rank
in less
up.
than 2 hours, we gained over 900 rank points in only 7 games. And after watching this coaching session I had with him, you yourself will be 10 steps closer to leveling up in Apex Legends and playing like your favorite professional. In today's coaching session, we cover topics as an individual, a duo, and a team on how to defend positions that we want, how to aggressively take positions that we need, how to be a third party, and most importantly, how to escape the third parties in order to make it to the end game where all of those big points are going to get made. So if you're having issues in ranked or even your Apex gameplay overall, this coaching session will 100%, without a doubt, teach you something that you need to know if you want to get better. And speaking of things that you need to know, each of these coaching sessions are designed with each player's specific issues in mind. So if you're ever wondering what exactly your issues might be, consider booking a coaching session with me. I've coached
I'd
over
rather not.
3,000 players since Season 7 and been either a Master or Apex Predator since Season 5. So take it from me, I know how to transform people's gameplay quickly and most importantly, easily. You can book a
Sure.
personalized coaching session with me
Wow.
and be quick because
It's
my
just a
schedule
giant
fills up
ad.
insanely fast. Or
These are pretty fair prices, I won't lie.
consider subscribing monthly to my Thursday weekly group classes, which starts at just
Group
$7.50.
classes. That just means he's gonna spend less time with you on specific individuals. And why the fuck does he have a whole site for himself? Fucking ego stroking.
Cents. Each monthly subscription includes 4 in-person group classes. Able to subscribe will get % off. So make sure to check the links in the description down below if you want more personalized help from someone who actually knows what they're talking about. Now let's go hop into this session because remember guys, it only gets easier from here. This is our second session, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so my man, we're continuing on the ranked grind. Today we're going to keep building on that, correct? That's our goal?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Let's start off again with a couple 1v1s. I kind of want to see if we got any more things to talk about in terms of how we're taking our fights. From there, we'll go and we'll actually start hopping into some games. All right, how's the rank grind been so far this new split?
Not bad. I'm gold 4, I think, right now.
Okay, not bad at all. Perfect.
This man's
All right,
on
you mean we
also
know
on
the drill
controller.
here.
Fucking why
You know
would I
that.
take tips from someone on controller when they literally can't shoot for shit without their aim assist? And if any of you fuckers try to challenge me on that, Turn off your aim assist and go into a 1v1. Exactly.
Actually, I'm not.
So I'm not gonna be listening to some shit advice from a roller who got pred or masters. I think I watched all I could. Until I think of like, fucking, I don't know. Let's do that 30-minute training, see how that goes. At most it'll get me in the fighting spirit, fighting battle. Pink pigeon, no thank you. Why am I looking at that? I'm not gonna be with anyone right now. Is there like a... Yeah, ain't no way you could be hopping with fucking just pressing spacebar. If any of you use your scroll wheel to swap your weapons, I change that shit immediately. It is not good for you. Which guns do I usually roll with? I usually do,
Using the decoy escape.
alternator DK. Fuck, dead slide. Let's practice. Let's practice. What's it called? Fatigue jump. Yeah, fatigue jumps. Fuck. Damn it. Fuck, I have to... My fucking hands.
It's looting time. Go in here.
Fuck, I'm too slow. There we are. Increasing my DPI. Let's see how that goes.
Send in a decoy. Wait, how do I know I'm not the decoy? Existential. Gotta be bad guys making noises here, because, you know, ghosts aren't real, right? Are they? Tell me they're not.
Fuck, how do fatigue jumps work when you're up close like this? There we go. That worked, but... Ooh, this is really letting the air out of my oxygen tank. Let's try 0.98. I fucking hate this game. Fucking be specific! Alrighty. There we are. Nope. Do I have to do it at an angle? Because that fucking sucks.
Now that is an upgrade. Yeah, leveled up. So did we get, like, awards for that or our name on the chalkboard? Oh, we get upgrades. That's even better.
I just practice my aim. Down though, if I'm just doing that, I should have no clipped and no problem.
I leveled up. Do we get awards for that or... Oh, we got upgrades. Picked an upgrade that'll make everyone so jelly.
Okay, that one just sucked. Fucking dumb as an
the max. Just because I got to the max level. This alliteration, is it clear?
Too slow. Kind of worrying though. Fucking fatigue jump. Fatigue jump, you damn game. It might be a bit too bad. Fucking... Can I not fatigue jump with the gun out? I know I can. I know I can. So do it. Do it. Just do it. Now I wonder if I can do a... Movements are all clunky today.
Looting here. Looting here. Bamboozles for the fools. That was better in my mind.
I need to get used to not pressing scroll down on the zip. Damn it. No. What's with that random ass zip? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. What? Server running for too long. That never happened before. Well, top opponent had 3 kills and 3. What the fuck? I was in a fucking firing. I was in the firing range. Well, guess I'll end it here. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really hope I start getting better. No, I will get better. Use the tips and do it every day. I'll train most of the fundamentals. No, I'll train all the fundamentals, you lazy sack of bones. Alrighty, that's me for today, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And, see ya.